Have you been dreaming about buying land with others or sharing your land with others because you want to create a little micro community? You want to live cooperatively with other people. Maybe you want to grow your own food and share other resources. You want to do this in a rural land where maybe it's a little bit cheaper, or maybe you have the opportunity to grow your food there. Well, usually zoning doesn't permit such a thing, but I have just found a planning rule that exists that allows for multiple houses on rural land to be built. So what's the deal? Well, the Cooperative Living Planning Rule is of the Tasman District Council. It was made about 6 years ago by the council listening to what the community wanted and actually responding by writing this policy. But not that many people know about it. And so this is your chance to learn a little bit more about this planning policy and how it could work for you. So within the rural areas, normally just one house is permitted. But if the land is owned cooperatively, so for instance by a trust, cannot be subdivided, and if the productive land is going to be able to stay productive, so whether you use it or not, hopefully you would want to use it, then that qualifies you to use this planning rule anywhere in the Tasman district. So what else is needed? Well, you'd want to still need to apply for the resource consent and check the other factors on the land. So that's really where you'd want to go see a planner or consult the Top of the South maps to be able to see what criteria are specific for the piece of land that you are looking at. So it won't necessarily work for every piece of land, and how many houses you can actually do on that piece of land would be determined by the factors of that particular property. And that's where the planners would be really happy to work with you. So I met with Anna and Paul today at the TDC in Motueka, and they were really more than happy to share the information with me and with anyone else who comes to them with a piece of land that they want to investigate this planning rule. So I want to hold a public event in the Tasman area at Riverside Community using their hall to be able to share with the public the basics of what this cooperative planning rule means for them. And then we use the time to network and talk about what could cooperative living mean for others, and maybe even find others to start on this venture. So why do I care? Well, because I think people need to be able to have a way to house themselves affordably, and to be able to live in community, and to be able to have that security of tenure, so not to be able to be shifted off so easily. Well, with this planning rule, if the land is held in a trust, that gives that security of tenure. And without having to go through the process of subdivision, that creates that affordability, because a resource consent might be all that's needed, and the price of a resource consent is about $1,600. So this is the beginning of what could be something that takes over the country to allow for little micro communities in rural land. Now, it isn't in any of the other councils that I know of. So if you're not in the Tasman, then I suggest getting a hold of me or these planners to be able to get all the documentation about this cooperative living planning rule, so that you can check out with your local community who might like to advocate to your local council. Make the submissions, get them to listen to what you have to say, and then they write it into the plan change. I wouldn't say it's as easy as that, but it follows those rules. So it's not impossible. It's been done once before. All the documentation now exists, and so you can do it too. I am videoing this on the Riverside Community, which is holding this land cooperatively in a trust. So it's happened here. I'm living on a property where I'm standing actually right now in amongst a large amount of food. There's food fields here. My tiny home is a bit in the distance. There's lots of houses on the property. So it is a wonderful community to live in. And I want to see other people having the same opportunity. So if you're interested, check out the Common Ground website or check out the Facebook page. I will be posting about this event. So if you're local, I hope you can make it. Otherwise, maybe you need to organize something similar in your own community and make it happen. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.